A brilliant sunny afternoon off the Scioto in downtown Columbus, Ohio, and a sprint to the finish of the Major League Volleyball season. Columbus back at home. The Fury welcome their longtime foe, the original rival, the Grand Rapids Rise, here to Nationwide Arena this afternoon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the floor with the Ohio State Hall of Fame center. Audrey Flaw and Neil Sika here to have some fun. Give me five, partner. Not just team camaraderie, but 5 setters. 7 straight between these two teams. Are we going to see an 8th today?
Yeah, you know what? We very well could. It's just interesting how these two teams match up. It seems like they have similar strengths, similar weaknesses, and so it is an extended match that we typically see when these two teams get together. Well,
the Fury have 5 remaining matches, 3 of those at home, but they'll have to deal with Grand Rapids playing their best volleyball of the season. We look at our players to watch, 3 in a row for the Rise. And one of the reasons, the hallmark of consistency, Carly Snyder leading them.
Yeah, Carly Snyder just does everything so well for the Grand Rapids Rise. She has been good all year. Kathy George, head coach, says she keeps trying to learn and really wants to get better and better every time she's out on the floor. She seems like she's playing with a ton of confidence, steady in every aspect of the game. The Fury plans to put a lot of service pressure on this young lady. We'll see how she holds up under pressure.
8th in the league in points and kills for Snyder, having another great season. For Columbus, they know they're eliminated from playoff contention. Can play spoiler because the Rise need to win out and need some help. But for the Fury, they've got one of the best players in the league, and it's amazing to see the growth of Raina Terry in year 2 and what she's become.
Raina Terry has done everything for this franchise and is the backbone of this team. She carries so much of the offensive load. Again, let's not forget about her performance on April 10th against the Atlanta Vibe, setting a new franchise record of 35 points, 30 kills. She got a career high 20 digs on 73 total attack attempts. And she has a new career kills number of 500, and that's only going to get better after tonight.
An all-star Raina Terry, who is 3rd in the league in points, 3rd in blocks, 3rd in kills. Hoping to bring the Fury to the finish line with a couple of home victories. So these two clubs met last Sunday in Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids. Rise win it in 5 sets. And then the previous Sunday, which was Easter weekend, Easter Sunday, a reverse sweep for the Fury, winning it 3-2. Kathy George, though, feels they are healthy, this Rise team. For the first time all season, Ramat Al-Hassan, big middle blocker, missed 11 matches with a lower leg injury, just returning into the fold. They've lost Leah Meyer to an ACL tear, Lauren Jardine Clark, who came over from Vegas. So they've had to jostle up the personnel just to train in a positive manner, and now the performances are starting to show, including their victory over Indy on Friday. Columbus coming off a sweep at Dallas. They've really struggled closing sets out against the Pulse this season. And it's one of the reasons Dallas, along with Indy, are the top 2 teams right now in Major League Volleyball.
Yeah, those 2 teams look so good from top to bottom. They are just doing everything very well. It's going to be interesting to see the last 2 spots in that playoff run.
Show on the road, Sunday matinee from Nationwide. Columbus and Grand Rapids. Their first ever match for the Fury was against this Rise team back 2 seasons ago. Diving down, Jalen Hodge, who's starting on the right but can't come up with it. And Inna, who has been on some type of a heater, 5-6 straight with double-figure kills, gets the opening point.
Well, she sure has. And one of the things we talked to Angel Perez, head coach of the Fury, he said we need to take care of all the junk, the tips, rolls, the second attack over by the setter, and that is exactly how Columbus Rise got their first point.
Rise gonna have trouble dealing with that swing if it's like it for Raina Terry all day long. Smacks it to the back to even things.
You know, one of the things Raina Terry does so well is take an out-of-system set, even higher, that's not going to beat the block, and she's able to find her way around a block and still score.
Briggs Romine, what a great season for her, an all-star. Undersized as a hitter, but a lot of power, and the delivery there is looking for hands. It's wide and out.
You know, one of the things I love about Paige Briggs Romine, again, undersized, and has no fear. Whenever there's 4 hands in front of her, she's able to find a way to score. I think she's got incredible vision and actually uses the block more than any other player in the league.
2-1 Fury, now 2-2. Inna, 2 points for Grand Rapids. Her father, Nigerian. She was born in Budapest, then grew up in Romania. She's played all over Europe. Been a best opposite, server, scorer in multiple leagues. Missed 5 weeks with an injury herself, but coming back and in great form. Hodge hits it high. Attack error.
Let's take a look at where Enna places the serve on Raina Terry, forces Raina Terry to pass the ball and be down on her knees, so not a hitting option, then a mishit on that right side attack.
Signed in August, 11-year pro, Elizabeth Inna. Raina Terry off the rise block. Snyder from the back. Lush pumps it over. Off the joust. Good battle brewing. Turner. Hodge sacrificing. Roll shot from Terry. Turner sets the middle for Al Hassan. Columbus put it back into play, but it drifts awry. And the Rise take a 4-2 advantage.
Nice extended rally there. And then just an attack by Pack out of bounds.
Audrey Pack, one of the positives for Columbus and the development under Angel Perez. Some of these young players that have come into the fold. They had to rely on Kamaile Hiapo, what, a third of the way into the season. Taking the position and running with it. Audrey Pack has become the starting setter. For the former Grand Rapids great Ashley Evans, who's been good in her own right. It's a 3rd straight point, though. Al Hassan, they are glad that she is back and the power through the middle.
Well, she just elevates so well, hitting over top of the Fury block. Again, the service pressure on Terry right now has been the difference in easier points, setting up the Grand Rapids block.
5-2. Rachel Gomez, another start for her in the middle. Bick comes from Snyder. Hodge denied by the block of Al Hassan and Briggs Romine. 6-2 Rise, up early by 4. Timeout Columbus. Angel Perez knowing full well, I don't think either of these coaches can really put their finger on the pulse, Audrey, of why they've gone these 5 setters. There's just an evenly matched competitive flair between the two. Can be down, feel like you're out, but the Fury rallied a couple of weeks ago with that reverse sweep. But they are on the short end of it so far to start here today.
Well, I think sometimes the coaches don't give each other enough credit. I think they're really good at making adjustments. So you might take a set from someone and then you quickly analyze what's going on. You make adjustments and you catch the opposing coach maybe off their game a bit, not making adjustments in the set, but rather when the set is over. I love the substitution patterns that Angel Perez makes during the game, and other coaches have had to adjust to that. So I think there's a lot of savviness in the coaching strategies between both of these coaches.
I don't know if you call it the most tactically sophisticated matchup in Major League Volleyball, but it sounds pretty darn good, so we're going to go with that. Inna sails it over and long on the service error, 6-3. Fury got that first home victory prior to the All-Star break. They've won one of their last 5 since. Finished with 3 of their final 5 here. That's striped down the line and in. Inna having a great beginning. Romine serve off the tape. Pack, not a great ball, but it does go off the antenna from Grand Rapids.
And we see, again, service pressure to Raina Terry. They're serving her short. You're going to see she's on her knees. Cannot be a hitting option there. The ball has to be set outside. Even though Columbus Fury got that point, is a really good serving strategy from the Grand Rapids Rise. Well executed so far in the first set.
Cameron Turner's defense, really underrated part of the setter's game. Columbus's block shows up. It's 3rd in the league in that category. Total blocks per set. And 1 there for Gomez and Lush.
Love the way Lush comes in and helps with that quick attack and seals the net beautifully with her teammates.
7-5 on this Sunday matinee. All MLV teams, all 8 of them in action, with the push toward the finish line and playoff spots to be locked up. Indy and Dallas are comfortably heading there, and then 3 and 4 still to be decided. San Diego and Omaha have that right now. The Rise hoping to be a player, but they need to win out. They're going to need some help. Snyder delivers the kill.
Well, the Turner-Snyder connection, setter-outside hitter connection, has been really, really good, especially in the second part of this season. Turner setting a nice tempo ball to Snyder.
Turner just surpassed Ashley Evans, the Rise all-time assist leader. Middle attack for Columbus, and Gomez.
You know, Gomez does a really good job of making herself available. Middles have got to approach and get their arm back as if they're getting every single set. They have to be up in the air ready, and she was for that set.
Serving now. Early part of the season, Gomez was not playing a ton. Been called upon late because of some of the inconsistency with Abby Walker, and done a nice job. Columbus could not come up with that dart of a ball from Jensen. 9-6 Grand Rapids. Overpass. Lush anticipating where Snyder was going with it. Jensen's block steered outside.
It's always nice to have someone like Raina Terry to clean up plays. You just got to lay it up there and let her do her thing. She swings high. Take a look at the contact of the blocker's hands on that ball. Was not over the net, high as a target. Raina Terry hits it.
12th all-time meeting between these two. Grand Rapids has the advantage, 7-4. Hodge could not put down that peppered ball from Inna, who's coming out throwing flames.
Thunderous cross-court attack by number 3, Inna. Take a look at this. Lots of speed. Hard cross-court in zone 1.
235 efficiency for Grand Rapids. Second serve error comes from Carly Snyder. Michigander in her own right. Snyder grew up 45 minutes north of Detroit in Macomb. Megan Lush, heart and soul of this Fury team. Briggs Romine, it's down.
When you are an outside hitter and you can hit the perimeter of the court, it is a skill that is, these pros make it look easy. It's so difficult, and Paige Briggs-Romine does that beautifully on that swing.
Former Western Kentucky Hilltopper. Raina Terry would like that one back, was looking for hands. Instead, it sprays long. 12-8 Grand Rapids. Another Michigander, Alyssa Jensen serving. Hodge firing that one into the block. Romine Al-Hassan there.
Yeah, it was into the block out of bounds, but what happened was it was a violation. Her foot went over the line, and so it was immediately called as a violation.
Good catch, tip-off speed from Pittman Nelson, who gets over quickly with Terry to provide the block in the Columbus point.
You know, we talk about hand placement as a blocking team, and take a look at the hands for the blockers for the Fury. Beautiful, up over the net here as the ball is actually contacted on the Grand Rapids side of the net. That's great blocking hands.
What a pickup in free agency. Pittman Nelson, who could not defend that fierce ball from Ramat Al-Hassan.
Look at the speed of this. I like the way Turner's setting the ball, not only in front, but behind. It really puts a lot of pressure on the middle blocker to kind of make adjustments. And if you're not fast, that's the result of a swing. It's going to go straight down. After
11-game absence, 11 kills, 550 efficiency in the victory over Indy for Al-Hassan. Briggs Romine jostled around. Columbus coming up with it. Yapo and Terry. Briggs Romine then sees some vacant space and punishes the Fury.
You know, you have to make some adjustments on defense. Are we going to take a player cross court on the outside? Are we going to play the seam? And you can see there's just so much space in that left back area of the court. And that'll be interesting to see if there's any defensive adjustments made in the backcourt.
Second kill, Briggs Romine. Hodge, that's in.
And there's the connection that you're looking for. You want to make sure you're leading the hitter so that they're able to elevate and jump and drift into the front area of the court. That's a beautifully set ball and nicely hit.
Pack, speaking of sets and assists, had 42 of them in the victory, that reverse sweep over Grand Rapids. Even also stellar defensively, had 16 digs in that game. There's the Fury through Terry and Gomez working it up front.
Yeah, in this league, you got to be able to take an out-of-system set. You have to be able to set out of system, which Yapo does beautifully there. And then Raina Terry just taking a high ball, hands in front of her, finds a way to score.
Raina Terry, 6 straight double-figure kills. Andre's brought up that Fury record, 30 that she had in the victory, or the game against Atlanta, that is. That is out. Belongs to Columbus on the side out.
Yeah, Turner's attack was out, but she's really setting things up for future attacks. So as a middle, you have to stay on Turner because she is offensive. You can't let her go. She will end up scoring. So even though that one didn't score for her, she's kind of setting things up for later on in the game. Great
pull for the back row Bick for Snyder, who brings it to the technical timeout. 16-12, Grand Rapids in the lead in the early going here from Nationwide. Strong start to this game for Elizabeth Inna, the Romanian. Finds herself with 4 kills, a 16-12 rise advantage here in the middle of this first set. Targeting Hiapo, off tempo from Lush. Turner delivered a good set to the outside for Inna. It's Romine. Turner, Al Hassan. Subtleties and made Hiapo go into the corner where she comes up shy.
You know, Angel Perez mentioned a couple things before the match started. One, they've got to dig up those half-speed backspin type of shots from the middle, and then they have to stop Inna, number 3, who we highlighted here after the break. You know, Inna is a dominant right side, and so you have to be able to slow down a little bit of an offensive player in order to open things up for your own team. So those 2 things so far have not happened for the Columbus Fury.
That was an easy one for Snyder, and the second overpass in a row. Poor passing really has been the story of the receive game of the Fury for much of the season. And 2 in a row. Schoolgirl errors, we'll call them, and that's a timeout now. 19-12, the Rise in front by 7.
Yeah, we talk about first contact a lot, and you can see just how important it is. That overpass is never going to be to your benefit. So you want to make sure you're passing the ball right up to the setter's pocket, which is in the right middle front area of the court. If you're against a really good server, then you don't have to go for perfection. You can pass the ball 10-foot line, and the setters are going to be able to run something out of that, but you just can't get aced, and you never want to give up an overpass.
Kathy George has her team on their high water mark for wins in a row this season. Mentioned at the outset, feels they've gotten healthy, which is a big catalyst to why, and Al-Hassan, marvelous basketball player too. Most of the big name schools in the country wanted her out of high school, but kind of pivoted and realized maybe the success level at a higher level was going to come in volleyball. Played at the University of Florida. Snyder. Also at Florida, her teammate there. Columbus comes up with something out of the timeout. They needed it, and they got Hodge the point.
I love that rotation. Jalen Hodge is just going to stay left side. Raina Terry going to be right. And again, you've got to be able to do something with these high balls out of system, and she finds the seam right between the two blockers.
Ends the 4-0 stretch for the Rise. Morgan Hentz, the best to do it at the libero position. Early season trade that was kind of eye-popping coming from Omaha. Another kill for the Rise. Can do no wrong right now in this first set. Amat El-Hassan. Pack from Terry on the receiving end. Textbook action there with Hodge, her second kill and as many points for Columbus.
Yeah, I love the way Pack is moving the ball around, but as a hitter, you have to execute, right? And that's exactly what Hodge does. So she's giving her setter the confidence to distribute the ball to different players, and Hodge is excellent right there on that right side attack, hitting a cross-court winner.
Most sets ever played for the Arizona Wildcats. Played in Puerto Rico her first professional season. Service error, Columbus.
You know, Bree Ford, her job is to come in this situation to serve and to serve hard and to just go for it. And that time it just sailed long.
Bree Ford, 2 aces. This is her 5th match since joining here in the back half of the season for the Fury. Snyder, what a play defensively, but then Pittman Nelson sent the Rise scrambling despite Briggs Romine's best efforts.
You know what I like a lot about Pittman Nelson's game is that she just is able to figure out what's going on and adjust. She's got great vision, knows that the back area of the court is open, and just settles for an easy set over the net into the opening.
Ashley Evans on. Spectacular start in the PVF / now MLV with Grand Rapids. Amped up probably each and every time she's faced her former club this year with the service error. Snyder jumps and flushes one. Good dig, Hiapo. Hentz out of system, Ina. Great dig, Terry. Cash Williams, who's come on the floor. Grand Rapids dealing with some overpassing to settle back. Evans dealt with Ina's ball. Briggs Romine denied by Lush and Pittman Nelson. Great rally.
Beautiful extended rally there. Patience on the Fury side, and then Lush is on that right pin. And take a look. I think one of the things an experienced player has is the ability to see where the approach is, to line up perfectly. Lush does just that on that attack.
Still a ways to go back for the Fury at 22-16. Evans handles that smoke. Builds another rally here. Ina rolls it, contortioning herself in the middle. Everything is going down for Elizabeth Ina in the first set.
Yeah, defensively, you have to read what can the hitter do in this situation, and you have to release from your base position and play the odds. The odds are it wasn't going to be a crushing cross-court shot, but it was going to be some kind of junk in the middle. So defensively, Fury has to recognize that a little bit sooner and react.
Love playing against Columbus in recent times. Gomez coming up with it and calls Snyder over. Put back by Turner. Evans for Williams. And that's a Rise point. Went out of play into the antenna. What a defensive effort. Snyder getting over to cover after Camila Gomez's first contact. 24-16 and serving for the set. Columbus stays alive on the error.
And kind of get the sense of urgency from Kathy George's team. They are not going to let any balls drop without 100% effort. They are fighting for a spot in the playoffs. You can see by the way they are coming out here in the first set.
Rise have 3 more games. Columbus has 4 after today because of the makeup from a winter storm at the back end of January. They'll face Atlanta on May 3rd. Raina Terry keeps this thing going in the first with a kill off the left.
You know, one of the things you can never dispute is the competitive spirit of this woman right here, Raina Terry. She doesn't care what the score is. She wants to get kills for her team every time. And she goes up to swing, and we already mentioned about her remarkable season this year and everything that she has done for this Fury franchise.
3 kills set over, though, on the error after Ryan White on the floor puts it into the net. Grand Rapids, like they did a couple of weeks ago, starts brightly. They take the opening set here in Columbus, 25-18. Back to Nationwide with set 2 after this.
An entire season, all building to this.
Point, championship point.
All or nothing stakes on the biggest stage, and there can only be one
For
team.
it all. Orlando wins the championship. The $1 million matches.
It's the biggest moment in Major League Volleyball, and there's only one chance to witness it live. The Major League Volleyball semifinals and championship at Comerica Center, May 7th and 9th. Tickets available now.
And it's time once again for Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
This is major.
Women's volleyball isn't the next thing, it's the real thing. This is where the game gets real.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Grand Rapids taking the first set, 25-18. Back on February 13th, one of the big trades, the eye-popping trades of this MLV season. Morgan Hentz, Libero of the Year, first team All-League, the first 2 years of the operation. Libero of the Year, first 2 years, traded from Omaha for Elena Ogilvy and a draft pick. And she's the only player to go over 100 sets, but what a refreshing line for the defense of Grand Rapids with her coming over.
Oh, she's an incredible libero. And remember, 3 NCAA national titles under her belt, All-American 3 times. I mean, this woman can play the game and is a leader for the Grand Rapids Rise.
Carly Snyder says, look out, Audrey, defend that, as it's pumped away off the dig of Columbus. Snyder Very comfortable from her back row attack. Swass into that with a slicing ace through the Columbus defense.
Yeah, her jump top spin serve has so much speed behind it. If you don't get behind the ball, it's going to ricochet off your arms, as we've seen that just happen for the Fury. She just goes for it. She doesn't try to hold anything back. She's going for power and speed. We'll see if she's able to get another ace here.
Fans here at Nationwide, the custom tradition to stand till the first point. They're going to wait a little longer. Alyssa Jensen has the answer on the block through the middle.
You know, one of the things I always learned as a setter is don't set middle on a perfect pass, because the middle blocker on the other side of the net doesn't have to move. So you want to set middle when you're off the net, not off serve receive off a perfect pass. I think Audrey Pack knows that and regrets that set decision.
Fury get away with an overpass. Jensen had 5 blocks in the victory over Indy. Columbus trailing 3-0. Now they're on the board. Jalen Hodge goes off hands of Briggs Romine.
You know, if Hodge can continue to get hot here, using the block, hitting angles, I think this Columbus Fury team will be able to get a better second set in terms of score. So she has to come out strong as a right side attacker.
They target Snyder. Turner for Inna. One of the few miscues she's had in the early going with the attack error.
Well, one of the things you're seeing from the Columbus Fury side, little adjustment here. Raina Terry is going to stay and go nose to nose with Enna. So she is going to stay left side, and that way is the blocker in front of Enna. A little bigger block. Good
Placement on that serve from Wash. Briggs Romine able to fit it in along the back. Columbus did not feel that was the case. Carly Snyder started that with some rangy action with that first ball contact. 4-2. There's the MLV replay system confirming that. This is Turner. Jensen, rather, with Turner in the mix of that. And it's a collection of another one for Inna.
A great display at how the serve set up the block. Setter for the Fury, bump setting to the outside. It was a completely easy situation for the block to close and reach over the net.
There's Inna. Has the hyphenated last name or married name along the back, but she is collecting kills at a premium.
High over top, hitting deep. And there's nothing that's wrong with that attack from Inna. Wow.
Masterful start for her and the Rise. They lead 6-2, a timeout early in this second set. Columbus needs to wake up amongst the cobwebs. Had the flight back from Dallas yesterday. Angel Perez, what an honor. He was inducted into the Puerto Rican Volleyball Hall of Fame last week in front of his parents and brothers, but he's hoping to guide this team, and he's given a lot of growth to some young players through the years and pushing them here to the finish line, where the Fury are looking to play spoiler in these remaining matches.
Right, you talk about Angel Perez being inducted in the Hall of Fame. He was a setter, and he's invested a lot of time in Audrey Pack. We can see her development over the course of this season. She's gained a ton of confidence, understands the game at a professional level. You know, back to Angel, he celebrated with his parents. He said there were special people there, teammates, coaches that he hasn't seen in a very long time. So hats off to Angel Perez for being inducted into the Hall of Fame, a good friend and a really, really good coach.
Jensen gets it back underway out of the timeout. Tipped over, Terry. Overpass by Grand Rapids, but Columbus and a miscue going into the net went the Rise. And so the Fury cut it to 6-3. Raina Terry rockets it at Snyder. Inna. That's off the mark. Wanted to hit it off the hands and pushed it too far outside.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was trying to do, trying to hit line, hit the edge of the block, and just missed it.
Raina Terry, under the hush of the crowd, nearly had an ace. Inna makes it wobbly. Hodge to the middle. Hodge again, stays with it.
Great job of seeing what is happening on the other side of the net, sealing the net. Hodge finds an easy point there on the block. Second contact right now for Grand Rapids has been a little sloppy, I know. Head coach Kathy George would like to see them clean that up and be able to execute that a little bit better.
6-5, 3 straight for the Fury. Hence fends it off, Briggs Romine. Al-Hassan, great feline quickness in the middle to come up with it. Off the tape goes Terry, off a piece of Hentz, and this thing's even at 6 in the second set.
Well, Terry is exceptional at hitting any area of the court. You're going to see this one extended here off to the left side area of the court, and her and Pack seem to know and have great communication skills, know where each other is. They talk really well to one another on the floor. 4th kill for Terry. 2 high water mark matches, including the all-time Fury record with 30, come against Atlanta. She's got a 2nd in a row, right down nationwide. Well, it's not often that the ball is going to go right in the middle of the hands of both blockers when they're set up there on a back row attack, but somehow Terry finds a way to score right between them.
90% air, right? That's what we say in golf with the trees in the way. Briggs Romine. Pack pops it back for Gomez. Hentz, Inna, rolls it off 2 feet. Expertly timed on the ball from Hentz.
Yeah, Inna does a good job of getting her feet to the ball. It's a little tight to the net, jumps straight up. And again, goes over top of the middle blocker, finds space in the middle of the backcourt of the Columbus Fury defense.
Ending a 5-0 Columbus run to even it at 7 here in the second. Briggs Romine, Columbus block ready with Gomez. Inna, second time she's hit that ball to the outside, not able to work it off the hands.
Yeah, ball hitting the antenna. Let's take a look at this. I think it's a really well set, well placed ball. I think it just hit the edge of Enna's hand, actually, not the middle of her hand, and therefore forced an error.
From Sturgis, Michigan, Rachel Gomez, who's setting, but quick transition coming back from Briggs Romine.
Well, Paige Briggs Romine saw a one-on-one opportunity and said, yeah, that's the kind of set I like, and that's the kind of block I like to look at. One blocker in front of me, I'm going to pound this ball down.
Briggs Romine, an all-star, 6 kills, 7 digs in that game in Orlando. Turner, Hassan, Yapo digs, block over there from Snyder. Yapo with Hodge going out of system. Briggs Romine. Well, Turner to tee it up for Al-Hassan. To the floor, Terry. Back and forth in a fun rally right now at 8 apiece. Snyder. Missed it offline. Columbus's point.
It's always nice when you win those long rallies. Just gives you a boost of confidence. That time the ball was set inside and Snyder didn't get her feet to the ball, tried to chop it down the line, missed it.
9-8, Hodge will serve. Already 5 kills for Hodge. Her season high is 9 a couple of times. Lush off the shoulder. Al-Hassan. Yapo. Set from Pack for Pittman Nelson. And that backdoor slide, Lush. Inna deals with it. Inna comes with it. Right at Kamiley Hiapo. Raina Terry in a groove. Feasting on that one.
Yeah, so what I'm noticing is if Columbus Fury can extend the rallies, you start seeing a little frustration on Grand Rapids side and nothing but calm on the Columbus Fury side. They know they've got an arm and a great swing in Terry, and Terry scores that one.
Well, what did Angel Perez say before? Recover the trash, some of the stuff that's on broken plays, and they have done that to the tune of a 10-8 lead in this second set. Grand Rapids running away and hiding in set 1. So here's what's ahead, though, for them. They've got Atlanta and Orlando to finish at home before they go to San Diego. The team they're directly competing with, San Diego and Omaha, in those 3rd and 4th spots in the MLV standings. So they might be able to control their own destiny come that final game of the regular season, Grand Rapids, but they're going to need some help in to handle their own business at Van Andel Arena, including today. Don't discount what might go on, but there's a long calculation to where they need to go if they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, and, you know, Kathy George says, you know, we really have to take it one match at a time, one set at a time. So this one is a big one, not only just for the W, but think about the confidence that's built after winning 4 matches in a row. So she understands the importance of this one. Get the W under your belt and move on.
Just so happens to be the one match that's a wild card every time going back over the last couple of seasons. 7 straight 5-set matches between these two. Snyder. Grand Rapids wanted that out of the timeout, and she goes off the block touch.
Yeah, Snyder takes advantage of a block that is not well formed right now. You can see, take a look, one-on-one, down the line. Hodge makes an attempt, not able to dig it up.
5 kills for Snyder. Megan Lush. That hurt the ball.
You know, is it just me? I think Megan Lush's attacks are even better this year than I've seen in the previous 2 years. I mean, she can just unleash on these balls. If it's in tempo and it's in her wheelhouse, she will go ahead and rip it. I love what I'm seeing from Lush this year.
Just out by a whisker, floating that serve. Columbus felt it was going to fall down. Megan Lush. Of course, Nora, her daughter, was born in that inaugural season, so working back and now fit as a fiddle to full health. 32 years young. Raina Terry, no chance for Hentz. Columbus going quickly, and Terry has put the Fury up by a couple here in this second set.
This is why she's an all-star. Takes a ball, serve receive that pushes her back and is able to still adjust, make a great approach, and then just rip that ball cross court. That's what you want in a left side attacker.
Turner, Snyder, Lush digs, Terry, rise and roll. Inna meets the Columbus block. Turner and Hentz. Inna, they've been waiting for her to come back inside after missing the last couple outside. Terry and Gomez the block.
Well, this might be a challenge. I'm not sure if Kathy George is going to go for the challenge. Yeah. They think that it went off the blocker's hands and hit the antenna. The call was that the attack hit the antenna and then the blocker's hands, so we'll be able to get a look at this one again.
Good summary on that, Audrey. 13-10 as it stands right now for the Fury.
Grand Rapids is challenging that there was no antenna fault.
So right on cue, we'll look to reclaim the point. Columbus closing out their season. They'll head to Omaha on Friday for a match there. Back home next Sunday against San Diego.
No. I think it was off the attacker's hand.
Yeah,
we'll
what
see.
came first, the attacking antenna or the block of Terry?
The ball did not hit the antenna. The player, number 16 from Columbus, touched the antenna. Point to Grand Rapids, and they will retain their challenge.
All right.
Ah, there it is. Yep.
That's a better angle of it.
Right. Yep.
Antenna is out. And on the swing of Inna, it was not. And then the ricochet off Terry, it does. So that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
12-11.
Yeah, when you want to seal the line, you want your hand to be as close to that antenna as possible. So as a blocking team, you want to take away a shot. That's why that hand was so close to the antenna.
Pack goes quickly, wanting to dump that over. Briggs Romine recovers. Iapo to the floor. Raina Terry wants it back. She's got her set after her own swing after the excellent dig by Hentz. Just coming alive here, Briggs Romine. Feisty rally, roll off tempo. Then Briggs Romine. Sloppy first contact. Grand Rapids keeps it alive. Turner wanted to dump it in the campfire. Raina Terry, Morgan Hentz again. But this time, Briggs Romine has no miracle into the up official. What a rally.
Just seems like every time it's an extended rally, who puts it away for the Columbus Fury is Raina Terry. She has been outstanding. Take a look at this great attempt from Morgan Hentz, but you've got to be able to control the dig, and that one was just off the court.
8 kills for Terry, who's matched Ina, arguably the 2 hottest players coming into this game today on each side. Jensen swaps that along. Columbus, contact is better, passing better in this second set. Snyder, Fury up by 2. Raina Terry. Romine, Turner goes to the backside, and Ina meets the block. Raina Terry's doing it all.
Yeah, I love the matchup there. Terry versus Ina. It's 2 superb athletes just battling it out. And there you see Raina Terry extending over the plane of the net, giving nowhere for Ina to go on that attack.
It's 9 official kills now for Terry. The block there, she's also got 3 digs. Ina, Hiapo sacrificing. Jensen allowing the attack to come from Snyder. Into the net went Grand Rapids. And the point for the Fury.
Yeah, net violation here. You can see on her way up, touches the net. And so an immediate whistle blown, point for the Fury.
A little bit of a cushion, 15-11. Columbus hoping to take it to the technical timeout. There's that wiper blade over from Briggs Romine. Raina Terry. Thudded back by Hodge. Ina. Not as hot in this second set the way she was in the first. Hentz. Jensen. Up it go with Briggs Romine. Was able to put it down off the Columbus block.
No, neither team has really set middle. You know, Paige Briggs Romine takes advantage of the hands, not a well-formed block, but there's really no reason for the middle blocker right now for the Columbus Fury to be late on the outside. They haven't set middle. If they have, it's been kind of a top, backspin kind of attack. So we'll see if they are able to commit better to the outside attackers.
Service error from Jensen brings us to the technical timeout in set 2. Columbus 16-12, looking to even things on the afternoon affair with Grand Rapids. Raina Terry rolling along here in set 2 and arguably playing her best volleyball of the season. She's been great all year long, but this stretch, the 30-kill game, Her personal best was preceded by 25 kills against Grand Rapids April 5th.
Yeah, and I think what she's doing really well this afternoon is not just her individual performance, but the pressure that she's putting on that hitter right there, Inna, to make shots when she's in the front row. So Raina Terry lined up against Inna, and we saw inefficiency from Inna. So, you know, that is the game within the game. You're up against the best hitter on the other side of the net. You're a great blocker. Can you help get your team some points? I think Raina Terry has been the X factor in doing that.
Lush with momentum, but pummeled it right into the block of Al Hassan. Prior to that, Inna with a kill, just her second of the second set. 2 straight, though, for the Rise out of the timeout to get within 2. 9 kills for Inna. Wealth of experience with Romania, the national team, the Euro League, Euro Championships. Hodge misfires, attack error. 3 straight for the Rise, and they're back within 1 at 16-15.
We've seen Hodge have a couple of these miss hits where she kind of gets under the ball a little bit, and then the ball floats out of her hand instead of being able to snap her wrist over top and get some top spin on it.
That's playing in Turkey and Poland. Best foreigner there, Inna. Al Hassan, mistouch. Off-tempo stuff fooled her up, but that's a credit to Columbus.
Yeah, I love how Megan Lush mixes it up here, little tip, and then the decision has to be made on the defensive side of the net. Do I block, come down and play it, or is there somebody curled up under the block to be able to recover that tip?
17-15. Bick, but long. From the back from Snyder. 18-15 Columbus.
Right now, Grand Rapids Rise just error prone, making all kinds of unforced errors that hit long. You don't really see that very often from Snyder.
7 attack errors, Columbus, they have 6. Briggs Romine going off the hands of Hodge, Pittman Nelson, and forcing the block her way.
You can't, I mean, she's listed as 5'10". I think she's more like 5'8", 5'9". But the courage, wow. Block in front of her, and she just finds a way to score.
Nearly had an ace. Lush to the table to save it. Hence calling off everyone. Turner. Snyder drops it down. Settled nicely by Hentz, who got everything stable. Rise get the point.
Yeah, as a libero, you want to be the captain in the backcourt, and you're calling everybody off on a free ball. I love Hentz's leadership, what she brings to this team.
Lead leader in digs at 5 in the All-Star game. Hodge gives a whack against the Snyder block. Inna. Quick retort by Pack. And Turner wanted to surprise. Lush was having none of it in the middle.
Lush trying to fire her team up after that beautiful block here. Take a look at how she reads the play perfectly, sees the lefty setter, Turner, going up to take a swing at the ball, and she has seen that back in her day. She knows what to do with that ball.
26 kills in her last 2, Lush, but that was a timely block. 19-17, there's a kill, just dumped it over, getting those middles, and the action centrally for Grand Rapids to be off and out of sorts.
Well, this is such a well-placed ball. If you're going to free ball it over, why not between the 2 hitters that would have to play that ball? Make a decision, first of all, who's going to play the ball, and then they are both out of position in order to get a good swing. So it worked out so well right there for the Fury.
Another tight set late between these 2. What a surprise. 2017, Inna. Hence, it's going nowhere fast, negative. And Turner, shallow effort to get it to where it needed to go. Columbus goes back up by 4, 21-17.
Great defensive effort there by Grand Rapids. But again, the second contact was not such that a third contact could be sent over the net. So this is a nice little lead here by the Columbus Fury.
Belongs to Pittman Nelson, one of the 3 All-Stars for the Fury. Grand Rapids, 3 straight victories. Columbus, which has lost their last 3 and 4 of their last 5. Missing out on the postseason for the 3rd year in a row. And There's a professional sense of pride to finish off the season before you look ahead to what's coming next year, but that's where Angel Perez has done such a fine job, just with the growth of the players, but to keep everyone invested in the job at hand still to play out the string.
Right, and you can look at the win-loss record, sure, you know, that's what we all look at. But when you take a deeper dive into the points, the sets, how close everything was, the number of 5-set matches, you know, Angel Perez has to just, I mean, it's hard not to get frustrated, but what I respect about him so much is that he's been able to always stay positive and look forward and just keeps coaching up his players. So that's why I really enjoy when we get to interact and talk to him.
No question about it. Allison Mayfield on for Al Hassan, who got the last point in the middle for Grand Rapids. And a big swath coming from Pittman Nelson with her second consecutive collected on the offensive side for the Fury, running the slide to a 22-18 lead.
Yeah, Pittman Nelson is able to hit in front. She runs the B, the go very well, and then all her ability behind has been really, really good. So love that back quick.
Briggs Romine handled that initial serve well, and it allowed Snyder to cap it off with the kill for Grand Rapids.
So as they rotate, you've got Ina in the front row, and again, Raina Terry in the front row. This is the matchup that really was lopsided in Raina Terry's favor. We'll see how this ends up.
Jalen Hodge, that's hit with conviction. Fury 23-19, growing closer to evening this thing up.
And this is what I like about Audrey Pack. You would think that she would go to her heavy hitter, Raina Terry, in this situation at the tail end of the set, but she goes with Hodge, an unexpected set, which I think really keeps the blockers on their toes. So I love the way she distributes the ball, doesn't always set the setter or the player that we would expect her to set in situations.
Ryan White on late, like she did in the first set, a serve error. This is the thing for Columbus. You don't want to be making those mistakes that might flip a set around. There's been far too much of that all season long. 23-20, Snyder, hammer throw at Lush. Pinball effect off Jensen and Ina. Rachel Gomez coming up clutch.
Oh, that pass by Lush was beautiful. And then again, the unexpected set to Gomez. Love how risky and just the unexpected set again by Audrey Pack makes all the difference.
Pack serving for the set, hoping to even things up. She does, an ace. Targeting Snyder. Columbus responds after their wobbly opener to get things on even terms at 25-20 in the second.
Nice comeback. Columbus Fury changed it around. The momentum, the energy is completely different in the second set. So hats off to, again, Angel Perez to rally the troops, get them to believe, and here you see nice set win.
Dare I say it, the forecast 5 sets. We might be headed there. It's 1 apiece, and we're hitting the intermission. Major League Volleyball on YouTube from Columbus.
It's not just a sport, it's a calling. At Spalding, we've spent years crafting high-quality equipment that honors that passion. As the official net system supplier to Major League Volleyball, we're proud to support the game at its highest level, where precision, durability, and performance matter most. Because when you give your all, you deserve equipment that does too. Spalding Volleyball. Trusted by generations, built for champions.
An entire season, all building to this.
Point, championship point.
All or nothing stakes on the biggest stage, and there can only be one
Before it all. Orlando wins the championship. The $1 million matches.
It's the biggest moment in Major League Volleyball, and there's only one chance to witness it live. The Major League Volleyball semifinals and championship at Comerica Center, May 7th and 9th. Tickets available now.
Intermission here at Nationwide Arena. Lumi, the Columbus Fury mascot, she's got some of her friends with her this afternoon. Crew Cat is also along, and watching an entertaining one between Columbus and Grand Rapids. It's all even after 2 sets. 7 5-setters in a row between these two clubs. And we turned our attention to the floor. Really excited to have our special guest here this afternoon. Andrea Mitchell is the co-managing partner, Mitchell Sandler, PLLC, and as of March 25th, the new owners of the Columbus Fury. Welcome, congratulations.
Thank you, glad to be here.
So I guess women-owned, women-run law firm, but when it comes to the professional sports decadence, which is in the firm, we'll get to that. Why Columbus? What was it special about getting involved in Major League Volleyball and this market in general?
Well, it became apparent immediately that Columbus, which has been very vocal about wanting to be the nation's capital for women's and girls sports, it was going to be a very welcome environment. We already knew it was one of the best attended games in the Major League Volleyball. There's a lot of energy here. They have a great pipeline of athletes from OSU and from Minton at the club, so I couldn't imagine a better market to start in.
Andrea, the club volleyball scene here in Columbus and Central Ohio is huge. And as you mentioned, Rena Terry from Mintonette. But in a broader sense, how important is it to have the grassroots follow the Columbus Fury in your view?
Oh, I think it's essential to have, as I said, not just the pipeline, but that energy, that enthusiasm for the sport to bring the visibility. I mean, we have parents and other family members and friends. And so when you're building that talent from a very young age and pushing that up to the league and to clubs, I think there's just no better way to get your talent into the sport.
And as you sit here and watch the Columbus Fury play in front of a great crowd here at Nationwide Arena, what do you love about this arena?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter how many people you have here, you feel the energy. I mean, the fans here fill up the space, and it doesn't matter if you have one or if you have thousands. I think it's a very welcoming space. I think the players feed off of that energy, and it's just a wonderful place to be, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to be here at Nationwide Arena.
I brought up the sports pipeline. Your husband, Andy, who's a senior partner with the firm, but Tampa Bay Rays investment in their ownership and some minor league baseball teams. So maybe it's a helpful thing to apply coming into this type of a situation, and how has that found its way into what you guys wanted to accomplish coming from Washington, D.C. and getting involved in the sports aspect?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really great watching Andy flourish with his teams. He's learned a lot. He's gaining a lot of experience. He's built an amazing team around him on the front offices. And so I think we're just taking all that experience. We're going to share resources. We're going to share knowledge. And we're going to build that all into what we've brought here.
Of course, you're from the Midwest, grew up in Illinois, you went to Wisconsin for undergrad, so was sports in the family bloodlines for you, and how exciting is this to be just a part of the genesis of a league that's only in its 3rd season?
Yeah, I have to say, I wasn't in volleyball, but I was a rower in college, and I do think that was a big part of what brought me into women's sports in general. And I love the discipline, I love the energy, I love the leadership that comes from it. So it was not a hard choice for me to decide to get involved in professional women's sports, because it builds leaders, in not just in sports, but in their profession later on.
Well, we're looking forward to what's ahead for the Columbus Fury and under your tutelage. And Andrea, thanks so much for stopping by. All the best and congratulations again. Great to have you.
Good to be here. Congrats.
Andrea Mitchell, who is the new owner of the Columbus Fury, along with her husband Andy Sandler and the law firm of Mitchell and Sandler PLLC out of Washington, D.C. Exciting stuff ahead for Major League Volleyball here in Columbus. 3rd set coming up next from Nationwide.
This is Major. Women's volleyball isn't the next thing, it's the real thing. This is where the game gets real.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Every match is a new opportunity. For us, this is everything. The hours no one sees, the pressure, the belief it takes to keep going. Every serve carries expectation. Every rally demands heart. Every win brings us one step closer to becoming champions. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars compete for greatness. This is our game, our league. Keep watching.
And it's time once again for Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
Nationwide Arena this Sunday afternoon. A set apiece for each team. Columbus and Grand Rapids. Neil Sika, Audrey Flaw, Raina Terry was fantastic in set number 2, hitting .385 with 5 kills on 13 swings. Columbus, after a tough start to this one, scrapped their way back. And we're heading into the 3rd, all even at 1. Could we be heading for an 8th consecutive 5-setter? Ways to go for that. Columbus unable to handle the mid-work on the passing game.
Great placement by Snyder there to cause a little confusion. 2 players not talking on the Columbus Fury side of the net. And so confusion there as to who's taking the first contact. So nicely placed tip by Snyder.
Exciting times ahead. We want to thank Andrea Mitchell, new co-owner of the Columbus Fury, for her time at the intermission. Jensen drops in an ace. What's this thing look like, though, for the Fury? It was out of rotation, though, for Columbus. Amend that. That's a service error. What does this thing, though, look like for the Fury now that they've gotten back on even terms, carrying some momentum?
Well, I think they believe now that they can win, right? This has been a battle, an ongoing seasonal battle with the Grand Rapids Rise. And so I think when you get beat badly, 25-18 was the first set score, and you come back and you're competing hard and you're actually executing the game plan well, you believe that you can take this one and end on a positive note, not just for yourself, for your team, but for the fans here at Nationwide Arena. They deserve to see a W.
I'll tell you, you're exactly right. The off-tempo stuff is working right now. Hodge had to come up with that, a little contortioning, but able to suck in that middle block of Al-Hassan, and Turner trying to help provide defensively. They mop up the wet spot. 2-2. Audrey Pack. Al-Hassan. Gomez denies.
So what I'm seeing right now is Turner setting the middle, and it's just too low. You're not giving the opportunity for Al-Hassan to reach to the really highest point possible. You see her left shoulder dipping down, so not a well-executed middle setter attack there from the Grand Rapids Rise. 7 blocks showing up for Columbus. Early stages of set 3. That's more like it from Turner to the outside for Briggs-Romine. Paige Briggs-Romine was initially drafted by Orlando, then traded to Omaha, where she played that first season. Grown in sets every year. She's going to eclipse her high water mark at near 93. And went over 300 kills this afternoon. There's another Grand Rapids point, Al-Hassan. Yeah, the set off the net, and then Raina Terry trying to roll shot, and, you know, just bad from the get-go. Not a great pass, not a great set, and then a hitting error.
Left it short. Ina. Speaking of an error, there's a service one for Grand Rapids. It's their 7th of the day.
And you talk about service errors, and sometimes it's okay, and the service errors that go into the middle of the net are never okay. The ones that go long or wide, you're trying to hit a target, you can understand those ones, but you really don't want to ever serve in the bottom of the net.
And making sure you get it in play. Ina nods in approval. Looks like stuff she was coming up with in the first set.
Well, even a ball that's not hit tremendously hard gets placed perfectly. Take a look. She's got enough spin on that ball to have it land right in the back corner of the court.
5-4 Rise. Their victory last Sunday, Grand Rapids over Columbus, hit 291. They received pretty solid, too, around 54%. And a lot of good rallies in this one. Swipe left, says Al-Hassan.
And that's what Al-Hassan does. You know, she'll take the ball and she'll just like tap it over. Those kind of shots right there. Just nothing really thunderous or hard, but placed right in the right area of the court.
They really did miss her. 3rd in hitting efficiency, 4th in kill percentage in the league. It's going out. Hiapo making sure, just for good measure. And that was in slow motion as it sailed outside the line. Came from the dig, punctuated by the swing of Lush. Close one to start in the 3rd at 6-5. Rachel Gomez. Sturgis, Michigan. Snyder is from Macomb. Pittman Nelson up and ready on the block. Rolling it back to the back row. Briggs-Romine. Hence. Fingertip lash out. Rocking into a good rally here before it's put down by Snyder in the donut hole. 7-5.
Yeah, the coverage for the Grand Rapids Rise was great. Columbus Fury had really nice blocks, keeping the ball on the Rise side of the net, and then it was Snyder with just a crafty little tip. Again, between a couple players, communication needs to be really strong, loud on the Fury side of the net. Someone has to call the ball and just go for it.
Carly Snyder, 7 great years in France, multiple times the best outside. Game of pitter pats. It falls in the way of Grand Rapids with Jensen and Turner combining at the net.
Connection between Pack and Reagan Pittman-Nelson, not perfect there. Usually Pittman-Nelson gets her hand on the ball and sends over hard attacks. That time not well executed.
Top 2 blockers in the league, Pittman-Nelson and Jensen. Hodge has an answer.
Hodge is doing really well of just taking a look at what's in front of her. You can see that shot right there goes right between the 2 blockers. So you have to have great vision as a hitter. I think she saw that opening and went for it.
She can put it down. It's the matter of the consistency with Hodge for the second-year pro. Joust battle won by Pack, who's been playing some defense here over the last couple. She's actually got 5 straight games of double-figure digs to go along with the great setting. That's a work of art against Snyder. Andre Pack, who turned 25 yesterday. A happy belated birthday to her. Inna smokes one down the line. That's her patented shot. Found it again here, it seems, in the 3rd set.
Well, again, those are the shots. I love the deep perimeter right on that line. Inna does a fantastic job on that right side. Really has been the anchor for this Rise team all afternoon, doing what she does best.
9-7. Scoped over Pittman-Nelson. And in favor of Columbus, keeping it close.
When there's a triple block, take a look right there. The open area of the court is going to be that left front area of the court when the left side blocker comes in to help block the middle. So Pittman-Nelson, an experienced pro, knows exactly where to put the ball, and it really puts a lot of pressure on Hentz because she has to stay deep in case of an attack, but also has to run and curl under that for the tip.
Did a really nice job of contortioning herself. Alyssa Jensen, her equal in the middle. Mentioned top 2 blockers in the league. She's right behind Pittman-Nelson coming in. That was a swat with some power. 10-8, Snyder. The velocity that thing picks up on her serve. Hodge. Turner over for Briggs Romine, who puts it down cross court.
Well, great transition swing by Grand Rapids, but it really started with a nice touch off the block, controlled block by Grand Rapids, and then an easy dig and a transition point. So that's really nicely done by Grand Rapids. 3
of the top 8 point getters in the league are in this game today. Snyder, Briggs Romine for Grand Rapids, Terry for Columbus. Snyder serves up an error. Rise, though, hold the lead here in the 3rd, 11-9. Pittman-Nelson at Hentz. Jensen denied by Gomez. Briggs Romine brings power, wants hands. They weren't there from Pack. Columbus defends well,
trying for a line shot there. Just misses. You can see she tried to go thumb up, pinky down, trying to go down that line, missed it.
Knuckler over on the serve from Pittman-Nelson, who was back in position but wasn't ready for the swing on the right by Grand Rapids. 12-10.
What a great bump set, though. That ball was perfectly placed, gives Enna an opportunity to take a nice rip on the ball. Great second contact.
In 3 kills here in the 3rd set. Jensen will plop one in, and the passing not there for the Al-Hassan work in the middle. That's happened several times today. 13-10. That is out. Megan Lush, a lash look as it came over.
You know, you talk about serve receive. I don't really think either team is really pleased at their first ball contact right now, and you can see how that really does impact the offensive output on either side. So if you're able to pass the ball well, you've got some hitting options, faster offense, and that's what we see right there from the Grand Rapids Rise. A good pass, a nice quick tempo set to the outside, being able to exploit a block that's not perfectly formed because of the speed of the set.
41% positive reception for Columbus. Repelling the block, Hodge out of play. 3-point advantage for the Rise. It's not grown higher than that for either team. Columbus comes up with the scrappy effort. Raina Terry started it.
Not a great pass, but you just lay it up. Always put it up to your closest hitter, and that hitter for the Columbus Fury just happens to be their strongest hitter. So again, Raina Terry has the ability, the strength, the skill to clean up any mess that should happen on their side of the net in terms of an offensive execution there. That's great.
Terry gets to 10 kills, 7th straight game with double-figure kills. Inna can say the same for Grand Rapids. Hassan gave it a rip. Raina Terry did off the tip. And fingernail of Morgan Hentz. 2 in a row for Raina Terry.
Yeah, Terry finds herself one-on-one. There's going to be one blocker in front of her. She's got all kinds of angles to choose to hit at. So she goes a deep left side cross-court shot, does a nice job.
Serving it up. Columbus was down 3, now they're down 1. Kathy George has went to the bench. That's going to fall in favor of Grand Rapids to get to 15-13. Hassan.
A sloppy point here. All kinds of confusion and this hit from the Columbus Fury gives Grand Rapids an easy point.
9-year pro Danielle Harbin on the floor, allowing Turner to swipe on in. Pack, Hiapo. High play for Hodge. Brings Romine. Hiapo, second straight out of system set, but Columbus cooks up something to get within 2.
Yeah, so important for a libero to not only be great on serve receive and digging, but having sets like this are crucial for the success of your team. So Hiapo putting up a really nice ball, and Lush just going after it hard. Love that play.
Penn, pardon me on that, it's 15-14. Hence floats over. Al Hassan over Pittman Nelson. Terry wants to shove it into the block. Along with Lush. Brings Romine. What a dig, Terry. Put over by Pittman Nelson once and twice. Pumps it along. And that was all Terry on the exquisite dig in the back row.
Well, you're absolutely right, Neil. Look at that one-handed save. And then Pittman Nelson gets up quick. Just so bouncy for that kill. Nicely done.
15 apiece. Columbus was down 3. And now on a spurt, a 4-1 run to get things even. Lush. That's an attack error on the outside, wide, and it gets Grand Rapids to 16 first. The technical timeout. Grand Rapids and Columbus even at a set apiece here at Nationwide. Tight one in the third. 7 consecutive starts this afternoon for Audrey Pack. A 1-1 affair right now with Columbus trailing 16-15. The rookie setter who turned 25 yesterday is already 9th in the league in assists. And pretty impressive taking over for Ashley Evans, the longtime Rise standout, now with Columbus. Harbin just signed at the end of March. This is just her 2nd set of action after a long career in Europe, and the block comes from Jensen.
Yeah, you know, back to Pack, you know, what I love about her is she's steady, she understands her role. She doesn't try to do too much or force things, but really understands flow and set distribution. I think she's going to have a splendid career in front of her.
Pittman Nelson on a platter, speaking of, from Pack. 17-16.
She's able to handle tighter set jump sets. This again just lays it up beautifully right between the set or the blockers there, and then you've got a great target in Pittman Nelson. She's up ready to swing hard.
You can see the smile on Angel Perez. You mentioned the development of Pack and being a former setter to have that opportunity to really tooth and nail go into the position. Of course, you did the same and have done in a coaching role. So it's fun to kind of watch that come to fruition.
Absolutely. I think when you're a setter, you see the game a little differently. So to have, as a player, to have a coach who was a setter makes all the difference in the world. You can talk the talk and talk strategy in a different way, I believe.
There's a heavy hit from Raina Terry. Back row passing comes up shallow for Grand Rapids. Fury hanging tooth and nail right now, right there, 18-17. After the side out, Megan Lush. Over for Jensen. Snyder. Hiapo. Pack. Prince Romine gets low on that good ball from Hodge. Lush falling back. Raina Terry. Another excellent rally here. Had several today. Briggs Romine. Pack for Terry. Hiapo, incredible to follow it. Turner, Snyder, Jensen goes again. Turner off speed, Pittman Nelson ready. Rally of the season between these two, and finally Snyder sneaks it down. Great volleyball.
Yeah, love these extended rallies, and it often comes on the shoulder of an outside hitter to end it. Take a look at this, an adjustment on the set, bringing Snyder inside and just ripping it.
Valuable piece at 19-17. Grand Rapids in the lead. Snyder almost dropped an ace. Hiapo comes up with it. Columbus says we've got a pretty good outside hitter too. Her name is Raina Terry. You may have heard of her. 19-18.
Right now, Grand Rapids is trying different blocking schemes to try to at least slow the ball down. You're going to see a new right side blocker, Danielle Harbin, for the Grand Rapid Rise, trying to do something to kind of mess up Raina Terry's attack, but nothing is working right now for the Grand Rapid Rise.
Harbin, Italy, Germany, Switzerland. Her best success came in Germany. Her rookie seasons. Played collegiately at Arkansas. Raina Terry. Ripcord, cross court, tied, 19 all.
Raina Terry makes that shot look easy, but it is a really tough shot to execute. Great defensive get there by Lush. And then Raina Terry gets her feet to the ball, not a lot of space. You've got to get on top of that ball. And Raina Terry, boy, she is showing why she was an all-star.
Jensen. That's an easy termination to the back, which was vacant for Columbus. Grand Rapids 20, Columbus 19, hence is off. Camila Gomez, the Colombian, Texas A&M, and 6-year pro on to serve here. Lots of international experience with her native Colombia. She's from Cali. Ready to go with Grand Rapids. Another tight one, leading late here in the third. One apiece. Gomez quick trigger action centrally.
You know, that only happens with a good pass from Lush, and then the set has to be such that you're allowing your middle to go one way or the other. And really good job by Rachel Gomez to not hit into the block that was there right in front of her. You've got to hit an angle one side or the other.
Camila Gomez departs. Hence back on defensively, 20 all. Harbin, heavy swing. Hodge unsure. Lush did get over, but even that seemed a little loose. Briggs Romine rolls it. Yapo all over the court here in this third set. Really much of the match. Raina Terry can't stop her. Off fingertips, 21-20.
Love the defensive effort on the Columbus Fury side of the net. There's not a ball that's going to drop without somebody going hard after it. And I feel like it just fuels your hitters when you know backcourt's working that hard to save points. Love the team effort here on the Fury side of the net.
Harbin, Al Hassan, no match for Raina Terry's swing. A timeout where the Fury have been creeping close and staying within one, and now they've turned the screws. And so often this has been storyline for a lot of their matches this season, Audrey. You and I well know, not only the ones we've done, but the ones we've watched. They're in there, it gets to 20, and then the tables turn. But this is maybe where the area of growth could show over the last couple of matches playing the spoiler role.
Well, I sure do hope so, because the Columbus Fury, if there's any team that deserves a W, it is the Fury. But, you know, this is the MLV. The other team,
sure,
you know, they're not going to roll over and die very quickly. So it really is about playing aggressive, playing confident, and not having unforced errors. And I think that's where the difference is between winning and losing in these tight sets. Few unforced errors we've seen, you know, service in the net or hitting errors. So you really have to play clean at the tail end of sets.
10 attack errors, Columbus, 9 for Grand Rapids. They had the advantage with the serve coming out. Briggs Romine flips that around.
Beautiful pass, and you're going to see Columbus Fury's middle blocker bites with the middle from the Grand Rapid Rise, which gives a one-on-one opportunity on the outside.
Harbin serves. Terry, often targeted, gotten so much better in the passing aspect. Briggs Romine. Yapo, pack rushes. Hodge atones. Off the block touch.
Well, that was such a great set by Audrey Pack. She's in the backcourt, has to run to the front court and deal with a ball that's dug really tight to the net. Wasn't sure if she was going to be able to execute it, but she jump sets and lays out a beautiful set to Hodge on the left pin.
Advantage back to Columbus, serving here from Terry at 22-21. Deft little piece of cleverness from Briggs Romine.
Again, if the ball is under set and low, there's not much an outside hitter can do but tip. So you have to be able to react to the type of set that you're seeing as a defender. So that was definitely going to be a tip on the Grand Rapids Rise side of the net.
Megan Lush launching one with authority, but it's long. Swings back in favor of Grand Rapids. They really need this game to keep their faint playoff hopes down this final 4 games alive.
That there was a block touch.
Fury will challenge for the block touch. Just to recap, we were referencing this in the first set. Grand Rapids has 10 wins. They have 14 defeats. Omaha has 12 victories, so does San Diego. So just to keep pace there in the win column, as they've played one fewer game, the game in hand with Omaha. San Diego's played 23 matches. So while we're not going to do math.
There was no block touch. Grand Rapids retains the point, and Columbus loses their challenge.
So there you go. No block touch from Al Hassan, Cameron Turner. Second-year standout from Kansas. Set a Rise, set a record defensively a couple of weeks ago with their 28 digs. It's 23-22 Grand Rapids. Kathy George, not really worrying about maybe the math that's involved. They know they need to win, and they've got 2 major home games, but they might mean little if they can't capture what they need to do here today.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just kind of back and forth action, and it really, in my opinion, comes down to that first ball contact. We've seen both of these setters execute beautiful offenses, and you know, if you're able to be in system, you're probably going to have a higher hitting percentage. The flip side of that is you need outside hitters that can terminate when the ball isn't passed very well. Raina Terry, I feel, is the best out-of-system attacker. And I did think Ine did a great job of hitting out-of-system sets for Grand Rapids. She is no longer on the floor as we see number 23, Danielle Harbin, take over her position. So it's an interesting game here, all depending on that first ball contact.
To be able to hit it, you better be able to receive it. Hence dove out, sent it over, and it sent a mad scramble Columbus's way, just with that quick trigger action on a masterful dig. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you're trained to play any ball that is close or that you think is in, and Raina Terry, as she's pursuing the ball, has no idea where the line is. It was definitely close. Whether that was going to land in or out, I do not know. But again, you cannot, you know, worry about somebody's defensive effort when they're trying to save the ball. So good pursuit there by Raina Terry.
And that's why Morgan Hentz is a two-time Libero of the Year in the league. Not just the type of that dig, but when it's happened.
Yeah.
Now setting up the potential third set for Grand Rapids, leading at 24-22. Columbus timeout. So much to play for still for Grand Rapids. They'll head home for their next two, Atlanta and Orlando, and then at San Diego to finish the regular season, where that might even come down to one of the final playoff spots in Major League Volleyball. The top four teams will be the ones that play for the $1 million prize. It was won by Orlando, who's really in a jam right now. Turner comes up with the defense. I was just referencing how she's been so good as a defender from the setter position, and teams up with Al Hassan to close out the third set. Grand Rapids goes to a 2-1 advantage.
Yeah, Turner does a really good job of lining up with the set, the hitter's approach, and then you see Al Hassan going hip to hip with her, so nowhere for Megan Lush to swing into.
Rise control it, go up 2-1. Fourth set coming, and Columbus needs it. That's next from Nationwide.
An entire season, all building to this.
Point, championship point.
All or nothing stakes on the biggest stage, and there can only be one
For it all. Orlando wins the championship. The $1 million match.
It's the biggest moment in Major League Volleyball, and there's only one chance to witness it live. The Major League Volleyball semifinals and championship at Comerica Center, May 7th and 9th. Tickets available now.
And it's time once again for Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
This is major. Women's volleyball isn't the next thing, it's the real thing. This is where the game gets real.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Reina Terror Tifo. There's some Nordeca folks, it looks like. I would put that under some Columbus Crew tutelage, but that's some great wordplay and artwork here at Nationwide this afternoon. Start of the fourth set. Neil and Audrey with you. Columbus trailing. Grand Rapids needs every bit of these final 4 games. Fury looking to defeat Grand Rapids for their second straight affair here at Nationwide. Underway in the fourth. Block starts from Jensen on the swing from Gomez.
Oh, what a great defensive effort on the Rise side of the net. Morgan Hens with a great dig, but here you see a beautiful block. Again, ball perhaps a little underset. Ball hitting the top of the tape and into the blocker's hands.
Turner had the big block to end out set number 3. Elizabeth Inna is back on the floor. You were just referencing how that wasn't the case at the tail end of set 3 and most of set 3, but what are Grand Rapids now trying to establish with her back out there right now?
Well, I think, you know, you go with your best hitter. Inna has had a great season, great match, and she's just up against Reina Terry, so I think they were trying to give a different look to Reina Terry and see, you know, if there could be any rhythm with Harbin, just maybe giving Inna a little bit of a rest, let her kind of look things over from the bench, and she's coming out and she's ready to roll here in the fourth.
Fine effort by Hiapo, misguided though outside. 2-1 Grand Rapids. Reina Terry missed the mark. One of her few attack errors today. Side out back to Grand Rapids. Snyder, 11 kills. Inna back on the floor with 12. The leaders for the Rise coming down the stretch of this season. 2 weeks to go. Lush with Hiapo unsure. Fury out of sorts, put down by Jensen to the back. Strong start here, and a wobbly one, much like it was in the first for Grand Rapids and Columbus. Timeout. Angel Perez will pull everyone over. Jensen put it off the hands of Gomez. And the Rise not wanting to see a 5th set here in Columbus this afternoon. Get the better of the start here, 4-1.
You know, when we talked to Angel Perez prior to the match, he was like, you know, I talked to my players, like, what is your why? You know, mathematically, they're not going to be in the top 4. They all understand that. And so he really wants them to be intrinsically motivated. Go out and show what kind of competitor you are. Show that you belong in this league. Show what you can contribute to the team. And so I think that's probably why he called this early timeout. Like, let's play hard, you know, play individually hard, play as a team, and really focus on what your job is on the floor and executing that little job.
That's the tough part of sports psychology. This time of year, when you get into playoff seasons and maybe your season isn't extending, it's easy to give the lip service and to deliver that you've got to do it, but you've got to have it within you, the professional pride to bring it on home. Reina Terry's got that in spades, and comes up right out of the timeout with the kill.
Reina Terry, I mentioned it in the open, the backbone of this team, this franchise. She feels like she has to do everything in order to get a W, and she has done everything for her team. I've seen her outperform all people on the floor, and so you're seeing it again with a nice, tough serve. I can't say enough about Reina Terry. Watched her develop not only as a club player in college, and now watching her even elevate her game even further here in the MLV.
10th ace of the season. 2 straight for Columbus at 4-3. Goes right at Snyder. Inna. Dig from Pack. Roll Bick comes from Terry. Tossed on over by Turner. Terry again. Terry 3 in a row. 2 kills and an ace in that span. Got every arsenal working here right now.
Yeah, and you just have to keep feeding Terry, and you know, she's unstoppable at this point. She sees a block, goes high, resists the urge to go low and hard, goes high, and uses the edge of the block.
Match high 16 kills, 4 all. Snyder, Pack, Hiapo. Responding so well, usually on those second balls, and Gomez gives Columbus the lead. 4 in a row for the Fury after that timeout.
Great job by Gomez to be patient, keep her knees spent and loaded, and then just react. See a little shuffle step there to get in front of Snyder's approach.
The most recent matchup between these two is a back and forth Rise 5-set winner where they won the first and the third. Columbus looking for a response here in the fourth. Briggs Romine hung in the air. It's wide.
You don't see her often miss this. This is kind of what she does so well, changing up shots. So that time you saw the opening there, so she saw it and just missed it wide.
Credit to Hodge for avoiding. So clever from Turner. A dump over on 2, 6-5.
I think what makes it hard to defend Turner on these plays is she makes it look like she's setting, and then she has a very quick release. It's very fast and low over the net, so she disguises it well.
Third round pick in the draft out of Kansas. Two-hand fingertip action from Lush, charging on from the back.
Take a look at the open area there. The middle serving, and that's where she's going to be playing, middle back. Lush sees that and pops it right into her zone.
Briggs Romine. Back and forth we go here in set 4. 7-6.
I think what's really hard about blocking Briggs Romine is whatever, if you're not up and over quickly, whatever you give her, she's just going to exploit. So if you're late, she sees that, she's going to hit it. You're up, your hands are up, she's going to wipe it off.
Fury, they're on a 6-2 little run here, make it 7-2. Hodge shows that confidence on that swing.
Nothing wrong with that swing. That's nice hard approach, nice fast arm.
On the 32nd assist by Pack. Briggs Romine didn't handle the contact well. It got Grand Rapids out of system, and Pittman, Nelson, and Lush are there.
And there you see the rhythm and the timing just off. You're going to see Enna was kind of on her way down and just never really executed a good arm swing on that attempt.
Hodge. Turner from Briggs Romine. Inna comes on the right, and Pittman Nelson says, Fury burst out to a 10-6 advantage, and they flipped it around, going on a 9-2 spurt to send Grand Rapids to a timeout. Well, they are making sure this matchup between the two, hoping to make it very on brand for what it's been for 7 consecutive matches, 5 setters. This is the 12th all-time meeting. Grand Rapids, the better of it, with 7 victories. And over these last 7 that have been 5 sets, the Rise 4-3 in that period. Well, it's a nice little narrative to follow and shows the competitive nature. All Angel Perez is focused on is making sure that the 4th set is staying the way it's going right now.
That's right. And what I'm interested to see is after the timeout, how Enna reacts, right? She had a hitting error, then she hit one, got blocked hard. You know, as an outside hitter, right side attacker, you have to have a really, you know, you just have to be even killed.
Short memory.
Short memory, yes, that's what I was trying to say. Short memory, and so I'm really interested to see how she reacts in particular, even if she doesn't get this first set, but is she able to rebound from 2 errors?
Inna, Hentz, Snyder, Briggs Romine, Al-Hassan, Turner. Pretty much been the lineup all day for Grand Rapids and for the majority of the season. Al-Hassan back healthy, looking for high hands. Lush, they weren't there. The hit was higher. Rise turn it around with the side out of the timeout. Three in double figures in the kill department. Briggs Romine, Snyder, Inna for Grand Rapids. Al-Hassan, little pushback, tap over.
Nice hang time. Take a look at this. She's up and she just waits and then swats it down.
That's what made her such a good basketball player. Just stay in the post like that. Deny everything coming your way. 10-8. Pittman, Nelson. That had quite some ferocity, but it was nowhere close.
Yeah, it's the placement of the set. She wasn't able to swing all the way through. You're going to see that it puts her a little tight. The timing was off, and Yeah, just not the best setter-hitter connection there.
Plenty of mini momentum shifts in this one, and after the timeout, the last 3 for Grand Rapids. Brings Romine to the dig. Snyder gets things back to even here in the 4th for Grand Rapids, 10-all.
What I like about Snyder's swing is that she's able to go over top of the block. You're going to see that's intentional. She sees a shorter blocker in front of her, gets her feet to the ball is over her right shoulder, and she's able to hit any shot she wants.
Terry wants to call for it. Lush coming. Al-Hassan in the block there. Oh, it's over from Al-Hassan, and suspended enough to wonder if it would fall in play. It did not. So the Fury do just enough to end that little run from Grand Rapids, and Hodge credit for that quick trigger left arm. And sometimes points, they don't always have to be in the Louvre, you know.
I don't know how you practice that one, right?
One of those greasy plays. Get up. At Hodge. Courtney Lush. The lost speed fingertip. Snyder. Pack. Puts it over on 2. Raina Terry. Well, again, that wasn't fluid, but it does the job.
Well, I feel like in this set we're seeing a lot of unorthodox types of play. That time Raina Terry just trying to figure out where we can get the point. Very easy, very quickly. She sees an opening in right front and just gently places it there.
Well, so often the case. When you know a team so well, that could be for all of MLV, but when you have close matches like these, knowing where the mistakes are to be made and taking advantage of them, if you're either team, Columbus or Grand Rapids. 12-10 Fury back in front with the last 2 after Grand Rapids got even. Raina Terry, Briggs Romine. Go gadget arm with that right hand. Lush, Elizabeth Inna, Briggs Romine into the bigger block, which is better. And the best in the league at doing it. Pittman Nelson with some help from Terry.
Great patience by the Columbus Fury, and then doing what they do best, sealing the net. Again, Reagan, Pittman, Nelson, and then she gives so much energy back to her team after getting a big block.
Thought about giving up the game. Angel Perez talked her into coming to Columbus. What a season it's been for her, an all-star. Hiapo to the floor. Harbin's back on. Columbus continues their assault with Hodge.
Seems like the Grand Rapid Rise is trying to find an answer to the right front position. As you mentioned, Harbin is in for Enna, so this is an interesting lineup change, one that we perhaps weren't expecting. It wasn't on my bingo card, but yeah, well, we'll have to see if that plays out for the Grand Rapid Rise.
That's the conundrum as a coach. If you're Kathy George, who spent a lot of time on the banks of the Red Cedar, coaching Michigan State, running the collegiate game, also at Western Michigan, and now settled with Grand Rapids. Become a Michigander through and through, but the conundrum we're speaking of, Inna, you want her offense out there, but one, that's been a little hit and miss since the first set, and then can you really risk having the receive game be off? So Harbin's getting the time, but then you lose potential offense.
Yeah, I mean, they track the data, right? They will see who's contributing, and right now, Inna just, her approach seems off, the rhythm between her and Turner, just as of late, really has not been there. So, you know, why not give Harbin an opportunity, see what she can do? This is an interesting lineup change.
Well, in the process, Grand Rapids, they've been dealing with injuries all season. Al-Hassan is the one back healthy. B in the go, and that go is good from Snyder.
Love that they brought Snyder in. Cameron Turner sets the ball inside. You're going to take a look. Snyder has to pass the ball, is inside the court, and audibles for a set that is not all the way out to the antenna. She takes that ball and just rips it cross court. Well done.
Missing also the middle presence of Leah Meyer, who was starting early, but tore her ACL. There's a great delivery from Terry again.
And this cross-court shot, I really feel like Terry's gotten better at executing that right there. not right in the defender's lap. Those balls are easy to dig. You want to be able to hit the ball away from the defender, and she makes it look easy. It's really very difficult, but she's able to hit that cross-court shot away from the defender right on the sideline.
19 kills for Terry. Looking at her 3rd and 4 with 20 plus. Bree Ford comes on late. Columbus looking for the technical timeout. I should say late in the mid portion of this 4th set. Snyder got twisted around. Turner stayed with it despite Terry being right in her face.
Well, things were a little bit mishandled on the Grand Rapids side of the net, but good heads-up play by Turner. She knows that Terry's up there. You can't let Terry just unleash. Goes up, does a nice block.
All 5'8" of her getting up there to block Terry. Terry wanted that one for a second swing in a row to that side. It is out. It is 15-13, so 2 straight for Grand Rapids. This is really how the sets unfolded. Columbus gets 3 or 4, then Grand Rapids obliges. They won't there. The serve floats over for an error. And the Fury hoping to extend, push it to 16-13. The technical timeout of this 4th set, down 2-1. (16-13) Columbus. Timed up to restart some action here. Fans get a word in edgewise, and after all of that, was there a happy birthday wish there for Audrey? I think I want to say yes, and she serves into the net. Cute moment, though. 16-14. But in the fabric of all of that, Grand Rapids meaning business. They need this victory. Raina Terry doing her best along with the rest of the Fury to deny it. Hoping to extend it to a 5th set. Hodge pumps one. It's off hands.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Jalen Hodge, whether it's from the left pin or the right pin. She's just going for it. That time, just the temptation is to hit the ball down hard, right? You see hands in front of you, and you've got to be able to hit those high hands as she showed in that one swing there.
She's got her MLV best, 12 kills today, Jalen Hodge. Pack, Lush, Briggs Romine is coming down before she put that over. Hodge with Hentz to the floor and avoiding the scorer's table. 2 in a row for Hodge. She's up to a baker's dozen, 13 kills.
She's having herself a match, and she's doing it by hitting smart. Again, another wipe off the edge of the block for Hodge for a point.
4 kills in this 4th set for Hodge.
this is where, as a coach, you know, you have to make those adjustments. I think Kathy George recognizes that Hodge is a good player, but, you know, now the focus is, okay, now we have to slow her down. You know, she's the one that's been killing us here, so how are we going to strategize? What angles is Hodge hitting? How do we have to block? How, you know, you're going to talk to your blocker. Actually, she made a personnel change, you know, to get in front of Hodge, try and slow her down.
That was Alexis Shelton, the rookie out of Oklahoma, coming on from the left front for Grand Rapids, who collects another point to get within 2 after that attack error from the Fury. Alyssa Jensen, Holland, Michigan. At Hiapo. Middle attack comes in a big way from Gomez at a crucial time.
Gomez making herself available. Love the distance away from the net so she can swing all the way through. Again, I love the way Audrey Pack just switches it up, really putting pressure on the block to Reed.
Snyder. Oh, they messed it up. Turner and Shelton offline there with the connection. Gives the Fury their 20th point here in the 4th.
Things really looking off for Grand Rapid Rise. We'll see if they can get this very crucial side out.
Gomez. Al Hassan delivers, so Columbus had their spurt. This is the way the 4th set has gone. As it spark Grand Rapids now. Harbin to serve. Seven kills for Al Hassan. Second game back after the injury. Attack error from Lush. 2 more. 2 straight, rather, for the Rise within 2 at 2018. Regardless of the mini rallies, no one can get a stranglehold on this 4th set. Oh, the tip over from Hodge. Deftly done. She's having herself quite the 4th here.
Yeah, it's such a smart shot. Take a look. She goes up strong and just at the last second disguises it and puts it toward the middle of the court. And that forces Morgan Hentz to kind of go up the line and in the court. So late on receiving that ball.
Shelton calls for it back. Wants to go cross court. Lush ready for it. Lush tossed it on over. Turner to play for Shelton. Hiapo's dig. There's Terry. Took it off speed. Turner over. Hentz. Shelton. Lush, Hiapo. Another long extended rally. Al Hassan with Hodge coming up. Now Lush. Shelton. Al Hassan to the air. Snyder. It's Reyna. And then it's Lush. Snyder into Pittman Nelson, and the block finally is put down by Columbus, and they win a beast of a back and forth.
Oh, what a fun rally. Again, Columbus Fury's block doing enough on the outside hitter for Sheldon to slow down the ball. No stuff blocks, but slowing it down enough where they can transition. They extended it, and then it's all Pittman Nelson at the net.
22-18. Hodge at Shelton. Turner for Harbin. Lush brings the block, but it's out.
Harbin really leaping from the backcourt into the front court here and just going for it. Ah, Megan Lush wanted that one back, wanted to line up a little bit better with the approach there.
Fury still in control at 22-19. Briggs Romine picks out Terry. Lush wants to give it another effort. Turner. Harbin had to stop in the tracks. Sends Terry scrambling. Hiapo. Hence for Turner. Now Harbin. Back row big time for Harbin. Welcome to MLV, essentially.
Right. Well, it's so fun when your number gets called and you're able to get 2 very important points in the tail end of this 4th set. It's been all Harbin.
So Harbin with her first kill for Grand Rapids gets this thing within 2 for the Rise. 22-20. Timeout Columbus. Kind of a game of chess here in the fourth set. Going forward a little bit, making a couple of moves, and then the other responds.
Right, and we want to mention again, Paige Briggs-Romine is in the backcourt for Sheldon. It's like having another libero out there, right? Her first ball contact, her defensive effort in the backcourt is exceptional. So she is back in. What's going to be interesting, and I don't know if we'll rotate around unless this goes to extended points, if Paige Briggs-Romine will be back in or Sheldon. We'll keep an eye on that one. But this is turning out to be a very exciting fourth set.
Make that 2 official kills for Danielle Harbin, the new Rise player. Just a few weeks on the roster. Last stop was in Switzerland. Briggs-Romine creeping the Rise ever closer, hoping to do so. Down 2. Terry pummels it at Hentz. Snyder gets the block in her favor, and the Rise with 3 in a row.
That is all Hentz's point. She is facing a huge bomb from Raina Terry, and just is so composed, makes a great dig, gives her team an opportunity to transition and score.
Not a ton of aces between these two. They're in the bottom of the pack in the league. Briggs-Romine over. Snyder once and twice. A smack into the net by Pittman-Nelson. This thing is all even at 22. Can set the momentum runs like clockwork in this fourth set. It's incredible.
Yeah, there you saw the clear net violation.
Ace, Briggs-Romine. Rise turning the screws late here in the fourth. They've got 5 in a row.
Number 13 is a gamer, and not only does she serve a hard ball, but just out of the reach of the defender for the Columbus Fury.
Leading 23-22. Lush just shoveled that into Turner and said, I am gonna best you here. Right at the pin. Did so. Side out Columbus.
Right, at this point you have to play flawless volleyball. You want to just exert your offense, and that's exactly what the Rise do, a perfect pass.
And the equivalent of a slam dunk for Al Hassan, and they're serving for the match with 4 of the last 5 points in this fourth set. Ramat Al Hassan just back from injury. Raina Terry tried and true to put Columbus back even at 24. Would you expect anything else with these two? We're not in the 5th set yet, but here in the 4th, all square at 24. Pack is off the floor, so is Hiapo. Pittman-Nelson. The swat serve, Briggs-Romine, Snyder. Off the hands, Abby Walker's first appearance of the afternoon here. In the closing moments, Terry is denied by Jensen at the net. And the Rise will get another opportunity to serve for all of it.
All hands, all Rise. We talk about Abby Walker entering the lineup. Now she's out. Audrey Pack is back in. Walker was in for a block.
Cameron Turner at Lush. Here's Raina Terry. That block repelled away by Harbin. Terry rolls it. Hence, with Snyder, has to extend down to the floor, getting there, Hiapo. Terry over, Jensen calls it. Back in system, Turner for Snyder. And the block from Gomez says this thing is not over.
The fans here at Nationwide Arena are going absolutely crazy. They love this. They're cheering their team on. That ball really never crossed the plane of the net.
25 all. Audrey Pack hoping to put Columbus in an advantage. Turner off the receive, and then they play it over to Harbin, who's got her 3rd kill of the set. And for the 3rd time, Grand Rapids will go for the elimination here. They'll have to deal with this stingy serve of Snyder. Sends it to Terry. They go back to Terry. Offline set, just had to put it over, and Snyder puts it down for the game. One that Grand Rapids desperately had to have, and they do in compelling fashion late on in the 4th set. The streak of 5-set matches between these clubs is history. And for Grand Rapids, they don't care how they got it done, but they did on the road and pick up a massive win here in mid-Ohio this afternoon.
Well, Grand Rapids and Kathy George, they played as a team. We saw 2 critical substitutions. Kathy George giving Harbin the nod, and boy, she came through for some big-time points in that 4th set. So hats off to Kathy George and her Columbus Rise team. Or I'm sorry, Grand Rapids Rise team, excuse me.
It's been a long day. Kathy George excited. She's going to be a grandmother for the first time coming up next month, but excited about the prospects of this team now that they're healthy, and maybe a window if they handle their business with some other help to sneak in to the postseason. But they win. They were down 22-18 in this 4th set, and they turn it around late. Snyder helps lead the way. Al Hassan and Briggs Romine, the headline names. And for Columbus, another compelling game where they come up just shy again here. And the finishing games are fast approaching now.
Yeah, and again, you've got to give hats off to Raina Terry for competing her heart out tonight.
Rise win it in 4 sets, 3-1. We thank Lisa Cherry, who directed and produced for our great crew. For Audrey Flaw, I'm Neil Sika. Rise a winner in Columbus. From Nationwide, we say good evening.
Club.